setting off up there. I'm going up Catbells today. I'm going to try and do a bit of a walk guide, but I think the weather's going to pull in and it's going to be way too windy. So I think it might just be a case of this is me walking up Catbells. And yeah, we're on the phone. All the kids away at the moment. So I'm going to see what happens, see what the weather goes, and hopefully it's a summit of Catbells, but yeah, there is someone up on that tree as well. So I'm not the only one out. Like I say, it is windy, so we'll see what happens. I'm just cutting through the park here, and then this is Crossway Road. This is somewhere you could actually park if you wanted, if you can actually see it. Like I said, I'm using the phone just at the moment, just because of the poor light. The iPhone seems to do the best in low light situations. Right, okay, I'll bring you a bit closer. Okay, so we're just walking out of Keswick. Come on the main road. In a minute I'll show you where you can go where it's just a quieter road. The reason why I've come this way is just because I've came from the park. So yeah, when you get to this point here, there's a little turning left. You can actually park. Just down here. And sorry for the low light. Just having to do an early start. Okay, so if you're coming in from the most western part from the 866 entrance into Keswick, basically it's your first turning right, and you can park down here. As you can see, there's 2-3 cars already, and it's a winter Sunday morning, so in summertime this does get full. So if you want to get parked here, just head for an early start. Okay, if you're planning to walk from Keswick, this footpath here is known as the Howrahs. It leads to the same place. To get there, you go over Greta Bridge, and it's just on the left, opposite the pencil factory and the pencil museum. This takes you here. You walk along here and basically go over a bridge. As you can see, 3 vehicles parked here already. So this is going to take us up over the suspension bridge leading into Portinscale. Those that are not used to suspension bridges, yeah, it does move. Slightly unnerving, I suppose, if you're not used to it. Right, so we're just entering Portinscale village. Not many people probably see that sign up there. Well, it's in the dark anyway, but it just says Portinscale village. Okay, as you're just passing Derwentwater Hotel, you come to a T-junction and then you want to take a left. This is where we're at, T-junction, and you want to take a left. If you're getting a bus to Portinscale, this will also where it'll drop you off at, and there's a small map there of the roads and a couple of walks around Portinscale itself, a couple of them taking you to the lake. Okay, so you just head along this road here. The footpath chops and changes from left to right, and it does get tight in summer. Even winter time, this road here is usually full of cars. Can recommend the chalet. Quite a nice little tea room before and after a walk. Also, it's quite a hit with the cyclists, that one. So we're about a mile out of Portinscale. We've just come up that road there. We've got to Lingholm Marine here. Now, there's 2 little routes you can go. Just where the national speed limit signs are, there's a turning left there. It takes you through the woods. and then you've got another path that takes you to Lingholm Marine, and then you turn right there. Please bear in mind that this road on your right here is private, although it looks very tempting, very nice. Go down the route towards Lingholm Marine. Okay, so we're at Lingholm Marine, and if you're here, then go in that shop there. If you're coming to walk around the lake or go up Catbells, take a right and cut up through here. This takes you up past the marina and then on to the next bit. You do come to Lingholm Estate. If you ever want, there's a cafe there as well. So that's 2 cafes. In fact, I think there's 3 cafes in the first 3 miles. And then nothing after that for a while. Okay, we're just coming up to Lingholm Estate. If you take that route through the woods, it brings you out here between these 2 trees, and then you come down here, and this takes you to Lingholm Estate. Okay, we're at Lingholm. This is where you can come. If you come in here to Lingholm itself, it does have parking. You can Google where to get to that. Yeah, so the Lingholm Kitchen, a walled garden, food, drink, shop and gallery. And you can also walk alpacas. Okay, so continue on down the road here. If these gates are open, which sometimes they are, don't go in them, it's private. Go this way, and there you go, even a sign that tells you where you're going. If you're lucky and they're not taking the alpacas out for walks, you will see them. The little sheds are right next to the path here. Here's some information about Lingholm, and here's the alpaca sheds. There's some information about the alpacas. They're usually hanging around in the field. There they are. Let's have a look, see if we can see any of them. There we go. There's a few alpacas and a few more up in the top field there. So it does tell you about the alpacas here. It explains everything about them, and you can read that at your leisure. Keep feeling the odd spots of rain, so being as this camera's not waterproof, I might have to go back to the iPhone again, but we'll see how it goes. This is all nice and level, flat walk as well. I believe they call it no styles for miles as well. This is part of that route. That's sort of to make the route more accessible, and I believe you could probably go around the lake without, you can go around the whole lake without having to go over a stile, which is good. This tree looks like it's just been blown over recently. There's been some hellish winds, and to be honest, they haven't stopped. There's been a lot of wind recently, and the few days that we've had clear are they've been few and far between, considering I've just started this channel and I want to make videos of the lovely Lake District, and get on and do lots of things, get out, and it's been quite restrictive, but in a good way. It means I've been able to do my research and plan what I want to do. Right, so we're coming up to a place where you get a lovely view of Catbells. There's a little field that opens out, and you get your sort of first view of Catbells, first close-up view anyway, when you come out of the trees. I'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, so just coming out of the woods here, and then over to the left, pretty much the way the path's pointing, you get your first view of Catbells. There's the two false summits. The summit's a lot further on than that, and it looks like there's no one going up there at present. I believe it's going to be quite windy. I'm not out of the trees, but I've just had a look at the forecast, and it looks like it could be gusting up to 50 mile an hour on the ground, so you're probably talking about 60 up, maybe even 70 mile an hour on the tops there. So basically you're coming into farmland now, so as you can see, lots of sheep around, so if you have any dogs, please keep them under control. And yeah, this sort of takes you out. I quite like this little area. It's you know, I often pass through here without looking around, but yeah, it's a nice little spot. Summertime, it's great. You know, you've got a couple of rocks there that you can just sort of sit down and have a little picnic. You don't get the views of the lakes, but you do get what have you got over there? Causey Pike, Rolling End to the left, and Causey Pike at the peak. Looks like there's a little bit of rain on the top of Causey, and then obviously you can see Catbells. Watch the train of people come off there, and yeah, just a nice little picturesque stop off. So as you come through this gate here, take this road to your right if you're going to go over to the if you're going to go around the lake. If not, just come straight up by this wall and follow the footpath up, which will take you to the bottom of Catbells. Okay, as you come out of the woods there, you're back onto the road. Let me just spin you around. For about 50 metres, there's two routes up onto Catbells. There's one that takes you just off to the left, so you continue following the road around and you'll see a footpath. There is one that's worn in, that's almost directly ahead that you can see. Don't go on that one, it's been eroded. The other path you can go to is just off to the left here. So you can go through the gate, or you can go up there. Okay, there's a couple of people just walking on there. So this is turning in the road here. There is a car park about 100 metres down this road here, and you can take the footpath up here to Catbell Summit. One mile, one hard mile. Okay, so it looks like we're going up Catbells. The winds are going to be horrendous up there, but looks like that the lake is too high to walk around the bottom end of the lake there, so it puts like another 3 miles on your walk. So blue skies, puts another 3 miles on your walk, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. So I think if we go to the top of Catbells, turn around and come back down the ridge, or maybe drop down Hawes Gate, I assume that'll be out of the wind in the direction that it's going, looking at where the clouds are. Okay, I'll bring you some views. As you come up to this first corner, this is where you get your first views as well. There we go. You turn around, you can see Swinside over in the distance, Skidder and Keswick. Wind should just drop down as we're going around here. The other way up, that was shown if you were coming through the gate. It takes you along here, up the terrace path, and then up to here, and then basically you're on the zigzags all the way to the first scramble. Okay, so just judging the wind, you can see it coming up Borrowdale, so it looks like it's going to be a bit of a headwind when we get on top. Sometimes it's hard to judge, but if you look at the lake there, you better see it just sort of moving around, so you judge where the winds are coming from. Okay, so I'm doing a voiceover now because the wind was so bad. So basically I'm just pointing up 3 ways you can go up. You can go straight up the middle, go to the right, or you can go off to the left, left being the easier route. The other 2 are pretty much scrambles. Okay, so just coming up from that scramble, we've got this little blind summit here, and then it climbs on up again up to that little point up there, and then you've got a bit of a traverse, and then you've got the last sort of ascent to the summit. Okay, as you're coming up here, that's a little hill just before the traverse. Summit's in the distance there, and you can see the climb. Today it's a bit wet and claggy. So on these polished rocks, because it's well worn, it is a little bit slippy, so when it's damp like this, please mind how you go. Okay, just coming up over the top now on the small hill. You can see the rain coming in. You start to get some proper views up here actually now. That's if you can actually see. You got Waller Crag over in the distance. Keswick still sort of lingering there in the mist, and yeah, you're coming up to the first second false summit. The summit's actually right there. Okay, so I'm just explaining here. It got really windy here, so I had to obviously do the voiceover. I'm just explaining when you get to this point, you start looking up at this last scramble. It looks pretty daunting. It looks vertical in places, but don't be disheartened. You know, you can climb it pretty easy. If you can do the first sort of half, then you can definitely do the rest. It's not anything harder than what you've already done. Okay, this next section, I think I can remember me talking. I can't even hear my own audio. So basically, as you're coming up here, there's many routes. There's a bit off to the right hand side that you can go, and people kind of zigzag all the way up. At this point there's no sort of easier, safer route, so you can basically, sometimes in the summertime I like to go sort of almost straight up, but today I'm going off to the right and sort of zigzagging up, just because it's a bit more of a well-worn path. Okay, this section here is where it kind of levels off before the last scramble. So you've gone up the first section, and then you basically level off a little bit, and then you've got another little bit of a climb. There's a couple of technical steps that you need to do. I always advise don't go off to the right there. If you go off to the right, you've got a horrible climb. Off to the left that you can just see at the moment, kind of go up. I think this is where I'm pointing that section onto the right where you can walk up, but off to the left you've got a little bit of a climb up. But yeah, where I was pointing there was a little sheep track, but I wouldn't advise doing that in the wet. Most people pretty much go straight up. It's the easiest way to go, but they're all reasonable. If you do go over to your right hand side, it looks more like you've got a bigger step to do, but to be honest, when you climb, it's not too bad. there's a little route I'm pointing out there. You can go straight up and then you can go off to the right hand side there. Just cleaning the camera there. Now I think this path off to the right hand side there, that's the one you don't want to be taking, because it literally goes off and you've got a cliff that you can't climb up. That's one little route that I'm pointing out, just in that little gully, and then you've got a little step over, and I think I've just noticed another route that just goes straight up. That's the path that I was on about before, where you don't want to go, and then basically I go that way. I don't film it because it's a bit treacherous at the minute, just because it's a bit wet and polished. Okay, so this is after the scramble. So you've got pretty much, you've done the crux, you've done the hardest part of the mountain, and you can just sort of make your way up anywhere from here. Most people follow where that fence is. This is the last step coming up to the summit. I'm just pointing the camera down, just probably because I'm looking at where my feet are going rather than where the camera is. There's no views anyway, as you can see. And yeah, so this is it really. Once you've got over that bit, got up that little scramble, you've got a couple of steps and you're pretty much there. Okay, we're coming up to the summit. It's not quite a trig point, or it's not a summit cairn, it's just kind of a viewing point. The actual summit's just behind it there. You can see it's a bit higher. I think I point the camera down just to show you that the cairn, it's got a little sort of map to say what mountains are where. It's pretty windy at the moment, so I don't hang around too much here. As you can see, there's no views at all. Okay, so coming back down, I didn't film any of that. It was too slippy and too wet. Like I say, it's easy if you just take your time. So I think what I'm talking about here is basically probably the weather and how wet and horrible it is and how much there isn't any views. But yeah, so here there's, yeah, again, probably saying there's no views, cleaning the camera and what have you. Off to the right is a little footpath. You can just make it out, a little level footpath. Because the wind is going on this section from left to right, I'm going to take that footpath there, and it basically just traverses right along, cuts out the whole ridge. It's obviously there. The prevailing wind is left to right, west to east, and you know, it does take you out of the cover of the wind there. Okay, so we're just taking this path. As you can see, we're way out of the wind. You can see it going across the tops there. If I can clean this enough for you to see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you can see, just about see the lake Waller's disappearing. In fact, you can see it better with the camera than you can with your eyes. But yeah, we've certainly dropped out of the wind here now, and this just takes you along a little bit to the next point, summit. Okay, so this path just takes you round a little bit, but I'd recommend at this point just to pop up here onto the main path, because yeah, it's just easier. You can actually take it round that little bit there if you are really tired, but the weather's dropped now, so I say the wind's dropped now. Just for a minute, must be in a bit of low pressure or high pressure or whatever it is, centre of the storm, whatever you want to call it. But you can see there's something happening. So I think the wind's going to pick up again. We are a lot lower now, probably down to 1,000 foot. 1,000 foot? Possibly, yeah. I'll have to check. I'll put a thing there to what height this is. This is the... Hi, voiceover Andy back. Yeah, the wind got a bit horrendous again, so I'm just basically saying about this being the last tricky little descent before we get down. Okay, I can see that this is at the top of the scramble. I think I'm pointing out, oh yeah, that's the car park below where you can park. You've got the little corner there and the car park's just there, so that's like just up the road. Yeah, so this is the last scramble, or the first one you meet to. Again, go easy in the wet. On this one I go off to the right. I just found it a little bit easier, and there was a group of people coming up here at this point, and they were sort of coming up the front, so I went off to the side. Okay, so we're down to the zigzag part of the walk near the bottom. You can hear people down by the lake as well if the wind's going right. Yeah, just watch these rocks here. They're over the years they've just been polished a bit, and they're just a little bit slippy in the wet. They do feel safe. It's just that one rock that takes you. But everything's okay. Nice little steep descent to finish off your legs, and yeah. Okay, I thought I'd take you down this little path here. This is the terrace, just to show you the route if you were going down. This section or going up, like I said, the section I went up I find easier. There's a little bit of a steep ascent when you're going up, or descent if you're going down. Is walkable, but I do find that other way more inviting. Okay, so coming back down here, back onto the road. If you're parked on the road or down that way, you can go that way. If you're waiting for a bus, there's a bus stop there. You have to check the times, they do vary, especially in winter. There's a little sign there, Hawes End Jetty and Portinscale. Portinscale, 1.5 miles. So 1.5 miles to Portinscale, and then it's another 1.5 miles probably to Keswick, so we're probably talking about 3 miles. Okay, that was the ascent of Catbells. We're just back down to that sheepy field that I like. So yeah, it's hard to get video like this, and when you're trying to build a channel in winter about walking, trying to get nice weather. I'll obviously go up again when the weather's nice and film it, make sure that you get some nice views. A bit more of a guide rather than this is horrible type of video. But yeah, so from me and the sheep, goodbye.